house, but your credit is bad. So how can you score better? Well, Robby Allen is president of Credit Restoration of Texas, and he is here to explain. I know a lot of people want to try to get in on that, on those tax credits, so they might want to buy a house, but they're saying, oh, my credit's not so good right now.
Yeah, these days with the credit market just being tighter, it's getting harder and harder, to get approved for a home loan. And that's one of the main areas that my company specializes in, is helping people, look at their credit, go over it, and see what we can do to help them, boost up their credit scores.
Okay, so how are you helping your clients who want to buy a house and have bad credit?
Right, it's a combination of things. I mean, it's not a magic trick. We're not pulling a rabbit out of a hat. We are removing negative items, from the credit report. We're also helping them establish new lines of credit, because that's really important. You have to have 2 to 3 lines of credit open on your report, so you can get financing, and also it could involve settling some debt that's on there. So a combination of those 3 things, and it'll put you on track to boosting up your score and getting you closer to purchasing your home. And one thing about us is that our clients can either come to our office, we're there in the medical center, or we can actually go out to their home. So we make it real convenient for them.
Well, that is very convenient if you can go over to your client's home rather than they coming over to you, because they may have all their paperwork at home, can't quite bring it to the office. And some of the negative signs, the deletions or anything like that, tell us about that.
Okay. Well, anytime you have any type of negative item, whether it's a late payment, a collection, a lot of times you're out of town and you forget these bills come in, and then these things end up on your credit, and they're affecting it negatively. And there are laws in place that are very consumer friendly, and we help our clients use those to get those items taken off. And one of the big things that we're seeing right now, Eileen, is a lot of employers are pulling credit before you get a job. Right. And we just had a lady last week. She was working at a bank, and she was offered another job. She went in, she got approved for the job and everything, but her credit wasn't where it needed to be. She came in to see us. She was very, very, distraught and upset about this. We got her credit turned around in a short amount of time. She was able to land the job, and so she was super happy.
Wow, congratulations to her. In a short amount of time, what do you mean by that? How long?
Well, results vary. It could be as little as 2 weeks. It could take as long as 6 months. In her case, we'd been working her credit right at 30 days.
Wow, not bad.
Not too bad.
So then my next question was going to be how else does credit affect, and it does have a huge effect.
Right, especially with the job market, today's with refinancing a home, getting a car loan, any type of business loan, those are all items that your credits affects all those things.
And when it comes to maybe a client who says, listen, I filed for bankruptcy not too long ago, and also a debt settlement, how do you help them?
Those clients, I love working on those files, because they have taken responsibility for their debt. They have settled all of their creditors, so nobody's calling them or harassing them, but that damage just stays on their credit for 7 to 10 years. And we have excellent success, great success with going in there and helping our clients remove negative items, establish new lines of credit, and let's look towards the future, and not the past.
Wow, so you can help clients who have had that on the record as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, and what about this free offer? Because I know you've got a great offer. We were mentioning it earlier in the show.
Yeah. Well, in addition, anyone who calls and mentions Great Day San Antonio is going to get a free credit report and analysis.
That's good.
Yeah, so they can know where they are. You got to know where you are before you can move forward. But in addition to that, anyone who signs up with us, who decides to hire us to work on their credit, we're going to give them their choice of an iPod Shuffle or $50 gift certificate to the movies.
Not bad.
Not too bad.
Not bad. Great Christmas gifts as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they can call us at 248-9061 or email us at support@croftx.com.
Great advice. Thank you so much, Robby. Thank you so much. Credit Restoration of Texas. Give them a call. They also speak Spanish. Good deal.
Se habla español.
All right. Thanks a lot, Robby.
Okay,